This is Mohammed. When his parents discovered he was bisexual, they tied him to a tree and whipped him. They then outed him to a family member, who was also a police officer, and had Mohammed arrested, imprisoned, and tortured for 25 days. After his release, Rainbow Railroad helped Mohammed find a safe place to hide, away from his family, before relocating him to Germany, where he's now safe and living freely. Mohammed's story, however, is not an uncommon one. In total, 3,451 LGBTQI+ identified people reached out to Rainbow Railroad in 2020. These requests came in from all corners of the globe.
An international organization that helps LGBTQI+ people escape violence and persecution to find a path to safety is setting its sights on Canada as it looks for real action to follow what we've been hearing lately from Justin Trudeau's Liberal government. Rainbow Railroad signed an open letter last week calling on Canada to respond to the growing crisis in Afghanistan.
The LGBTQI+ people in Afghanistan are also part of Rainbow Railroad's 60 in 60 campaign, as they aim to assist at least 60 people around the world needing support right now. Joining us now is the Executive Director of Rainbow Railroad, Kimahli Powell. Great to have you back on CP24 tonight, Kimahli. What is the situation in Afghanistan, and why are you calling on the Trudeau government to take action?
Yeah, thanks for having me again. The situation continues to be dire for LGBTQI+ persons, which we were worried about since the Taliban took over. Individuals who were already in precarious situations after the government fell and the Taliban took over, further displaced, and right now in real fear of their lives. And so we've been providing direct support to individuals in Afghanistan. We've been successful in relocating people outside of Afghanistan. And we're calling on the government to really make due on their commitments to support LGBTQI+ persons. They've been making those commitments since August. We are an organization that's prepared and have the capacity to help. And all the government needs to do is work with us.
Okay, let's talk about those in detail, what we've been hearing since August, but also, Kimahli, can you give our viewers an idea of Canada's record on helping LGBTQI+ people around the world?
You know, we've had a productive relationship with the Canadian government on relocating persons. We've been on this journey to identify and support LGBTQI people in multiple countries at risk. However, what we're talking about in Afghanistan is a specific crisis situation where if we had a proactive crisis response plan, we'd be able to mobilize the resources we had quicker and easier. Without a crisis response plan, our work is harder. And so what we're asking the government to do is be proactive, work with us, because we can identify people who come to Canada quickly.
What does this proactive crisis plan look like, Kimahli? What exactly do you want the Trudeau government to do to help support you and your organization to help some of these people who badly need it?
So one of the things that's great about Canada is that our private sponsorship program is a model for the world. And that's one tool that we have. However, we also need additional tools to help people in crisis situations. The Minister of Immigration, working with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, can put together with their Minister of Authority a crisis response plan that allows us to refer individuals right now for resettlement into Canada.
How are those conversations going then, those efforts? Because as you say, the Trudeau government has at least acknowledged LGBTQI+ people.
I want to say that, you know, it was not Rainbow Railroad's initial intention to be working in Afghanistan the way we were. After the announcement that LGBTQI+ persons were a group of concern, requests for help skyrocketed to now nearly 900 requests for help. So we're just responding to the need. And what we're saying here is that this is a real opportunity to demonstrate what can happen when the government partners with civil society.
Kimahli, are you saying 900 requests coming just out of Afghanistan?
Correct. We're fielding about 4,000 requests for help this year from all around the world. The numbers in Afghanistan shot up just over the past 6 weeks.
Kimahli, we've talked about some of the challenges. Tell me about some of the successes. 29 Afghan nationals rescued, arriving in the UK last week. What does this mean to them?
Yeah, we've had success getting people out of Afghanistan to neighboring countries in holding patterns, some of them which are not necessarily friendly to LGBTQI people. And we've had success outside of the UK as well. But the 29 signal, a real starting point. And what can happen when you partner, when a government decides to partner with civil society to identify and coordinate the logistics of getting people out. And now those persons are able to start new lives free of persecution. And I'm really excited for them. We deliberated a lot about whether we would even make public that we were doing that effort. But we wanted to signal what was possible when civil society and governments partner together to help LGBTQI+ persons at risk.
Before we started this conversation, Kimahli, we shared with our viewers a piece of your campaign sharing Mohammed's story. How many Mohammeds do you think are out there?
As I said before, we're going to top 4,000, maybe 5,000 requests for help in 2021 alone. And, so that's just a snippet of people who are at risk, people who, the people who have the means to even find our website at rainbowrailroad.org and fill out the request for help form, signify those who have means and opportunity. And, Mohammed's story is powerful, but I will say cisgender men even have more mobility than women and trans persons. And so the need is great. What Rainbow Railroad is trying to do with our wonderful supporters is signify that we can make a difference. All we really need is the government to say yes to partnering with us.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, there is the 60 and 60 campaign. It's not your first year holding this. Can you describe that and the effort behind it?
Absolutely. Rainbow Railroad's proud to be an organization that's fully funded by private donations and the support of donors around the world. And with 60 and 60, what we're saying is that, of course, as I said before, there are thousands of people that that come to us for help. But between November to the end of the year, during the season of giving, we can help at least 60 people who are in immediate queue to help them find a pathway to safety. So someone like Mohammed, who you featured at the beginning, can start a new life, free of persecution, able to live their lives as their authentic selves.
How do people watching at home help, Kimahli?
Yeah, there's a couple of things you could do right now. I'll say three. First and foremost, education is important. I think there's people watching this right now who don't understand the precariousness of LGBTQI people around the world. So just following us on social media and other platforms actually is doing a lot. And if you can, reach out to your member of parliament or to your neighbors and friends and let the government of Canada know that this is important. And then finally, if you're able to, no matter what you're able to support, go to rainbowrailroad.org and donate, because we're fueled. Our work is happening because of the community, and every bit helps.
And we thank you for all your work as well, Kimahli Powell. Thanks so much for joining us here on CP24 tonight.
Thank you for having me. It really means a lot.
Thank you.